Hello everybody in Eco Intern 4. This is Caitlin Vermark and I teach AP Art History and Studio Art at the high school level, so grades 9 through 12. And there's a lot of just really simple daily, especially formative assessments that I do. One of the big ones I do in AP Art History is every day they have a daily warm-up. So I have a question posted on the board, and then they in their groups or individually will go ahead and answer that question. And this question is always based on artworks that we talked about in the previous day. So I know for sure if they understand that one, they're ready to move on to the next step this day. So that's why I like doing that particular one. It lets me know right away, okay, they didn't understand this concept, and if they don't get it, they're not going to be able to understand the new artworks that we talk about today. That's something that's especially important when we get to romantic art, and romanticism is showing things that are happening now. It's actually, despite the name, it's not scenes from the past, it's not classical or happy subjects necessarily, it's usually modern day things like war, disease, whatever is happening in the news. But it often will have symbolism or allegorical figures in it, so I need to make sure my students understand that romantic means both, and that romanticism is not something that happened in the past, but is something that's happening now. So if they don't understand that, they're not going to understand any of the next artworks that we talk about that are documenting something similar. So that's why I like using daily warm-ups. So I feel like that's good for pretty much any vocab or any subject that you really want to get across that ties directly into that next day's activities. So you can also do exit tickets. I like doing warm-ups, but either way. Another one I do is think, pair, share. So even though I'm teaching high school, this is something we do every day in discussion, especially in art history, but I do it in studio art as well, where we have a question or we have a problem or new things that we want to talk about, and I'll pose a question, open-ended question to the class, and I will have them discuss in their groups. So they sit in groups of 4 usually. So I'll put that out there, and then I'll walk around, I'll listen to conversations, and then I'll have every group share something with the whole class. And the deal is that they cannot repeat something that another group said, so they have to really be listening to everyone, and everyone participates in discussion, and that lets everyone get all these great viewpoints. Now we get 8 viewpoints instead of just 1 or just 3 or 4, so that's why I like that one. When we do summative assessments in art history especially, but also in visual, I like to do written assessments, so I can say, okay, here is a question, please tell me how you use this element of art, or how the artist use that element of art. That's just an example. So really being able to see and observe, sometimes also visual, summative observations where it's like, okay, here's a style, can you recreate it to the best of your ability? And I'm not looking for how realistic things are, but if they're painting it or drawing it in the same art style, that lets me know they understood. So those are 3 of my favorite types of assessment.